Gotcha. Okay.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the house that Ross built. As usual, on our third Thursday, we have J.R. Fenwick on the line with us, going to be talking about stocks. So last time he was on, he kind of went through, the basics of stocks, what each market means, so on and so forth. So today we're going to get into more details and why it's important as in our community to invest in stocks and other things as well. But in particular today, we're going to be discussing stocks. Well, how's everything going today, J.R.?
Oh man, it's going great. Staying busy, market's busy, a lot happening, and unfortunately, I have some sad statistics to share with your viewers. And so there's an old saying that goes, "Documentation beats conversation," right? And so you let off with why we should be in the market. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and share my screen. And I just pull this up here and then go right here. Can you see my screen okay?
Yep, we got it.
All right. So one of the things I like to do is I Google a lot of stuff because I don't want people to take my word for it, right? I want them to see it in writing. And so I think we all know there's a wealth gap, but do we really know how big the wealth gap is? We say, oh, it's big, it's big. So I went and I said, hey, wealth gap between white and blacks. And the most recent data that I was able to get was 2023, right? And when you see it like this, the current racial wealth gap, black families have about 24 cents for every $1. 24 cents, they got a dollar. That means we don't even have a quarter. And then if you look at Hispanics, it's even worse, 19 cents for every dollar that white families have. So there's a massive wealth gap. Like I said, we all know that this kind of quantifies it, like sticks a number in your face. So then what I did was I went a step further and I was like, okay, well, what is the root cause, right? What is at the root of this? Are we contributing to this, right? There's many causes, but what's the one that we're contributing to, the cause that we are most responsible for? And so here it is. What ethnic group is the largest consumers in America? Black people are the major consumers in the American economy and spend more than 1 trillion a year on goods and services. And that's 2021. I think it's more closer to 2 trillion now.
Yeah.
So we're spending, 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 spending. We just have this consumer mindset, right? So then I took it a step further and I said, well, why are we consumers? Why do we just do all this shopping? And ultimately, Aziz, it makes us feel good. It makes us feel important. And we could go down that hole as to, well, why do we need to feel like this so much so more than other cultures? And we could get into slavery and racism and all that. But the bottom line is that when we spend this stuff, it makes us feel good. It makes us feel important when we can come up with the nice suit, the nice dress, the nice shoes, the nice watch, the nice car, and so on and so on. And so then, anytime there's a problem, you have to say, well, what if you don't fix the problem, right? What if you just like if you have a leak in your house and your roof, what if you just don't fix it? Well, ultimately, the roof is compromised. Maybe the structure of the house is compromised, right? So, what if we don't fix this problem? This is an article. This out of our magazine, Black Enterprise. This isn't somebody else's magazine. This is our people's magazine. And it says the median wealth of Black Americans will fall to zero by 2053, warns a new report, if we don't change something,
Yep.
right? So we know what the problem is. We know what we're doing to contribute to the problem. Now we know why, why are we doing this? Because we want to feel good. But if we keep doing this, this is where we're headed. So then I said, okay, well, what's the solution? What's needed, right? And here's an article. It says how Black families can build generational wealth, according to experts. And one of the top things they said, investing in the stock market. And I'll add trading or flipping in the stock market. But check this out. When you look at white wealth, 30% of their wealth is in the stock market.
Yeah.
Now look at our percentage.
Yep.
4% of Black folks' wealth is in the stock market. Now, how are we going to compete? How are we going to level the playing field, right? We can't level the playing field. We're at 4%, they're at 30%. It's never going to happen if those percentages stay the same, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to make a bold statement. Even if we increase the number of businesses that we own, which we're doing at a staggering rate, and even if we buy our homes, we're still not going to be able to level that playing field until we get into the stock market game and really understand how it works. So, as another article came out, check this out. It came out in 2015, and it says the stock market is America's great wealth equalizer. Now, let's just look at that statement right there. The stock market is America's great wealth equalizer. So, they're telling us something is unequal, and they're saying it's in America, and they're telling us what the solution is: the stock market. So this is a bold headline right here. It's not hiding anywhere. And it says, it's sad really because those who aren't in it are much poorer as a result. Well, what are we? We're much poorer. 4%, 30%, and it's probably even higher than that. So then now we know what the problem is. We know why there's a problem. We know what we're doing to contribute to the problem. We know what the solution is. But check this out. Stocks are soaring and most Black people are missing out. Black Americans' lack of participation in the stock market likely to widen post-pandemic wealth gap. Historically low equity ownership. Equity is another word for stock. All right. Down here in a Pew Research, a booming U.S. stock market doesn't benefit all racial ethnic groups equally. And we could spend this whole show just going after article after article after article after article. So when you started off and you said, why should we be in it? We have to be in it. We don't have any options whether to be in it or not. Matter of fact, we're in it whether we know it or not. Let me prove it to you. All right. So if you go out, what's like the major gas station down in Texas or Houston where you live? Is it Exxon or what would be the major one?
Uh, Shit, we have a lot of shells. The shells
Okay.
here.
Shell, Exxon, Amoco, all these gas stations, right? Where we're going and getting gas, we're helping those companies, right? We're helping those companies stay in business. We're helping those companies stay profitable, right? Have a friend who works for Exxon, executive with them, and one quarter, we were talking 1/4 of a year, they made 19 billion in profit
Yeah.
in 1/4. So we're helping these companies. When you go into grocery stores, when you buy a car, when you go and buy clothing and all, we're helping these companies grow. You buy a phone, but we're not getting any ownership. We're shying away from from uh, from the market. So let me take it a step further. Let me prove it even more to your listening audience why we must be in the stock market. And when I say be in the stock market, I mean actively participating in the stock market. I'm not talking about your 401k and your IRA. Keep doing that, but I'm talking about being able to pull out your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and be able to go and actively invest and trade in the stock market. So um, when we're looking at this and we're looking at this challenge, let's look at the three biggest wealth creators, not in any particular order: real estate, obviously, stock market, and owning a business. So, Aziz, you're a real estate expert. You know, most of us are in real estate from the standpoint we understand real estate. Like we know we buy a house or we rent. Um, and then you have business ownership, right? And we're opening those. But if you looked at this as like a pie, a three slice pie, that slice of the stock market, I just proved to you guys, we're just leaving it on the table, just leaving it there. And it is literally the easiest to get started in. Like in real estate, I'm not a real estate expert like you, but I know, there can be challenges in real estate. You may have to have a considerable amount of money. I know there's no down payment techniques or no out of pocket, but when you compare that to getting started in the stock market, the barrier of entry is much lower. Matter of fact, I remember when we had our first conversation, and you said, "Man, I didn't even believe in the stock market. I didn't, I was like this. I don't even mess with that stuff, right?"
I was one of those statistics.
Yeah, and now you've done a complete 180. Um, and I want to commend you on that because you were open to saying, "Hey, well, tell me some things about the stock market that will get these beliefs out of my head," right? The other thing about the stock market compared to the other two, and I'm not saying this to beat up on real estate or to beat up on owning a business. We need to be in all three of them, right? But and you tell me if I'm telling the truth. You could be going to buy a piece of real estate. Let's say that the real estate costs 500,000. Let's say you got $1 million sitting in your account, and you can just go strike a check, bring them a cashier's check. Is it not true that person could still deny selling their house to you because of the color of your skin?
Absolutely.
Then they don't even have to tell you. They just, I got somebody else, blah, blah. But really, it could be because of the color of your skin. All right,
Yep.
let's take business. Tell me if I'm telling the truth. People could say, I'm not going to come to your business because of the color of your skin. People
Absolutely.
could, banks might not give you money, loan you money because of the color of your skin. But when it comes to the stock market, and I take out my phone, I take out my tablet, I take out my laptop, doesn't know what color I am. All
Right.
it knows is I went in there to flip a stock, or I went in there to place an order to invest in a stock. And so when I look at these and I look at this damning dude, this is beyond ridiculous, right? And so we have these beliefs and these myths in our head. I looked at as I go down here, I had this right here. Okay, why aren't we in the market? What is it? What's going on us? And ultimately, we have these beliefs. So, Flip That Stock, my company, we've been in business 11 years, and these are the top 7 answers I hear all the time, and not in any particular order. Uh, I thought you had to be wealthy, to get in the stock market. Not you can become wealthy, and people became wealthy because of it. Another one is, oh, I thought you had to have a degree or some type of certificate or license to sell stocks, not for yourself. Oh man, this thing is too complicated. Let me ask you a question, Aziz. You've been a member of Flip That Stock for a little while now. The way we teach it, is it complicated?
Not at all.
So it's all about how it's being taught
Yeah.
to people. And it can be made complicated. It can be made very complicated. And I think that's on purpose. And that's a whole nother show right there.
Yeah.
Um, people say, oh, you got to do hours of research. No, you don't. This is one I hear. This is probably number one or two. Uh, I don't want to lose any money. So every time somebody says that, I was like, okay, well, please point out to somebody who wants to lose money.
Right.
Like nobody want to lose money. So what we do is we take risk. Everything, getting out the bed and getting in your car and driving somewhere is risk, but you want to minimize your risk and maximize your potential. Oh man, well I heard it's gambling. I guess then these wealthy people, which the majority of them are in the stock market in some way or form, I guess they're just obsessive gamblers, or maybe they know some stuff we don't know and we should learn. And oh, I thought you had to have a full service broker. I thought you had to have a financial planner. None of this is true. Ultimately, the bottom line is we just haven't been exposed to the stock market like other races have.
That's
You
it.
know, irrespective of, like, my father was a doctor, mother was a nurse. We never sat down and talked about the stock market. I've got doctors, lawyers, engineers that I talk to daily about the stock market, African Americans, and they, they don't they don't know how to actively do it. I'm talking about outside of their 401k and stuff like that. And so I just really, when you made that statement, why should we be in it? I didn't want to just give my opinion from J.R. Fenwick. I wanted to hit your audience with data that, it is what it is. It's painful data, but that's why we do what we do at Flip That Stock, is that we want to change these headlines. We want to change these narratives and these percentages, and that's exactly what we're doing. So that's a long response to your short statement, but I had to get it out, man. I had to get it out to our people so we understand what's at stake here.
I'm glad you did. Like you said, the facts don't lie. The numbers don't lie. We always say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So those
Mm-hmm.
facts are very factual. And like you said about, you know, actually, me and your brother were talking about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, on the podcast before,
Mm-hmm.
about, we're afraid. We say we don't want to lose money, but we buy cars. As soon as you drive your car off the lot, you lost money.
Right.
Um, we say we have assets because we own a property or a house that we live in. It's not. It's a liability because it costs you money. It's not bringing it in
Mm-hmm.
your pocket. So again, all these things fall into the myth. That you
Mm-hmm.
have cars, we have houses. We buy purses, we buy all this different stuff, and none of it benefits us necessarily outside of we can show off. But there's
Right.
no money coming back to us because of it.
Right. It's interesting. People, I hear, oh, and I don't want to lose no money, but then go on. I don't play the lotto a lot, but if you go on a Wednesday or I guess a Saturday, and look who's in line buying lottery tickets, where you have a 99.9% chance you're gonna lose, and we still go and say we don't want to lose money. So, it's all a mindset. Um, and we have to shift that. We have to get in the game. It's not optional now. It's not optional. We got to be hitting from all angles, from business ownership, real estate, stock market, understanding how to, work our credit and stuff like that. But when you look at that data, it's 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 everywhere around us. And as the data's out, the market is just taking off,
Yep.
just taking off.
It's not going to stop because of us. Actually, they
Now,
prefer that they keep going without us, really.
mm-hmm.
And that article that you talked about, 2053, the Americans will be zero.
Mm-hmm.
Be at zero. I shared that in a different, I think it was Bloomberg. See, another platform said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that we say that, it needs to be focused on more. I don't think necessarily that we as a people believe it. I don't think we believe it, but
Yeah.
for as long as we've been in this society and in this country that we pretty much built, uh, we are still at the bottom of pretty much all three: the real estate, the stock market,
Mm-hmm.
investing, still at the bottom. And how long do you think that we're going to be at the bottom without falling off?
Right, right. And I heard one person say we are, before it was forced slavery. It was physical force that put us into slavery. This is voluntary slavery,
Yep.
where we're just walking ourselves right into voluntary slavery. And and if we don't believe it, I mean, I don't know what else it's going to take to wake folks up and say, I think social media has really distracted us a lot.
Yep.
Um, and we get caught up in all the uh, with it, reality show, housewife shows, and this, that, and the other. Um, and I get it. It's like, you work all day, you want to come home, you want to relax your mind, and this, that, and the other, right? But we all have time to learn a skill set, even if it's 15, 20 minutes a day, right? When I teach people uh, my 14-step system for flipping stocks. I had somebody ask, well, how long is it going to take to do these 14 steps? I mean, damn, that's a lot. It's going to take got to take at least 2 hours, 3 hours. And I told them 15 minutes, and they're like, come on, man. No, come on.
Yes.
15 minutes, 15 minutes, right? Um, so we have to open up our minds too and say we want to learn. And then there's another problem that's out and that is all the advertising on social media of all these different get rich quick programs for the stock market, for real estate, for business. So what I want to do for your viewing audience is I want to give you red flags to look out for when it comes to the stock market. All right.
Okay.
And this can apply to other real estate and business too, but I'll just stay in my lane for the stock market. So if you're on any social media platform and you see them, you could go in there right now, you'll see them, and they say, get this program. I guarantee you're gonna make X amount of money. First of all, that's illegal, right? So Aziz, when you were talking to me about my program, did I ever once say I guarantee you're gonna make X amount of money?
Nope, absolutely the opposite. You know?
Yeah. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't well, people do it, but it's illegal to do it. So if you're viewing this and you're scrolling down and you see something that says, I guarantee you get my program, red flag should jump up immediately. You should just skip past it, right? If you see something that says, we have this program, and now you're seeing a lot of AI stuff. We have an AI program and it has never lost money. And you'll never, if that were the case, then whoever has this AI program would be the richest person in the universe, not on the planet, in the universe. If they never lose, they could just go in every day, all day, and just boop, AI is going to get it right every time. So there's no program that can predict the stock market 100% accurate every single time. There's systems out there, and mine is one of them, where we have a high percentage of accuracy, but I would never say we're 100% accurate. That's just, so that's a red flag. Another red flag is, especially when it comes to trading, if somebody says, hey, we're going to take all our money and put it in a big pool, and somebody's going to flip it for you, right? Had somebody got burnt bad, collected all their friends' money, gave it to this guy to flip, and all the money's gone. And now you can't get in contact with the guy who took all the money. Or I even had a friend who is a doctor, and she came to me and she was interested in joining Flip That Stock. And she was like, okay, are you going to teach me how to use the software and how to pick the stocks? And I was like, because she said, because I spent $10,000 on another program, and they didn't even tell us how to pick the stocks. I was like, what? $10,000 and you don't even know how to pick a stock or use the software? And she said, even worse than that, we put our money in a pool, and when I went to get my money out, all hell broke loose. Oh, you messing the pool up? Why you got to take your money out? All of these are red flags, right? And so we should avoid that and learn the real way to do this. Whether you're investing, whether you're going to flip stocks, whether you're going to trade options or what we call flip options, there's stuff out here. Or another one to say, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do nothing, right? And people are believing this stuff.
They believe it. They believe it.
So
one thing as you're talking that I'm thinking about, and actually, again, me and your brother were talking about this the other day. Maybe you feel you're a little older, you're not as tech savvy, so on and so forth. At the very least, you can teach your kids that they need to be in this because they're the future, and you also teach kids, correct?
I do. And I would take it, I would say you're not too old. As a matter of fact, we just created a new program where we created a matter of fact, I'll show it to you. I'll share my screen again. And here. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay, so if you go to flipthatstock.com and we scroll down, all right, all the way down here, we have a new program that we just created called Shop for Stocks Online, Shopping Mall. And what I did was I was shopping on Amazon one day, And man, let me turn my phone off. This is like, I don't know who's texting me. It is blowing up.
Well, that's
They
we know.
must know, they must know I'm talking to you, man. They're like, they probably like, tell him I said hi. Tell him, can I get his autograph? Just talk to so but so yeah, so I'm shopping on Amazon one day, and I was thinking, man, they have really trained us well to be consumers,
Mhm.
right? And like as soon as I want to buy something, the first thing I think about is Amazon, unless it's food. And even if I'm in the store, I'm gonna pull up Amazon and see can I get it, cheaper, and when can I get it? Can I get it same day? Can I get it next day? Right. So I was like, man, they really trained us well to shop. Then I started looking at the process when you do shop. We typically will look at a picture of the product on Amazon. We'll look at the price. We'll look at the features. We'll look at the ratings, and then we'll make a decision whether we want to buy it. So what I did was I said, man, how nice would it be if there were an online shopping mall like Amazon, but when you go in there, you shop for stocks. And so I created Shop for Stocks Online. And our motto is we shop for ownership. On Amazon, you're shopping as a consumer. You come on here, you're shopping for ownership. So let's say on Amazon, you bought a computer or something. Well, you come down here and we got big, beautiful icons. And you come down to the computer icon, you click on this, it's going to pull up all the stocks. Um, all the companies that make computers. You go to that particular company, and we teach you to go through the same steps that you went on Amazon. You go through those exact same steps in our mall to buy ownership in companies. And so we're getting ready to roll this out. And as soon as we do, I'm coming to you, brother, and we got you.
I was gonna say, open
But
it.
yeah, so so when people say, well, I don't know if I can do this, yes, you can. If you shopping on Amazon, you can shop in our mall, right? And we have to keep this model in mind. We shop for ownership. We shop for ownership.
Yep,
You going out buying some Nike shoes, come in the mall and buy some Nike stock,
there you
you
go.
know.
Just a change
So
of mindset. That's all. That's all it is.
yeah, it's just and it doesn't. This is another thing. I was talking to another professional. It's amazing what people believe. Like these are professionals. These are lawyers, doctors, engineers. Now, if they're believing this, imagine what people who aren't professionals are believing. So, um, had somebody say to me who was a professional, man, stocks are, you need a lot of money to buy some stocks. And I said, no, actually, you don't. He's like, oh, yeah, yeah, you do. I said, have you ever heard of this little company called Ford that Motors makes $1 billion company? He's like, yeah. I said, how much you think their stock is?
Mhm.
Oh man, it's got to be too expensive for the average person. I pulled up Ford Motors. It was $12.
Mhm.
$12 a share when I last checked it. Right now, anybody can afford that. I'm not recommending Ford. I'm not saying go out, but I'm just making a point. Stocks come in all price ranges. So then, professional went on to say, well, you can't just buy one share or something. You can't just do that. I said, well, who told you that?
Right.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, you can buy one share of it. No, but you got to open up an account. You got to have, at least 25, $30,000 in it. Who said that? Who's teaching you this? Now, this is a professional.
Mhm.
Believe in this, right? So we believe in all this stuff, and we're not taking the time to learn what the truth is. And so that's what we do. We teach the truth. We teach it in a fun and easy and digestible way. Um, but I love when people say this stuff and they say it like they're an authority on something.
You know what they're talking about, right?
Yeah. Now here I do this every day, and they're going to tell me, you can't. Not only can you buy one share if you want to, you could buy a fraction of a share
Yep.
if you wanted to. So these is a lot of little stuff we just don't know. And what we have to do is say we got to get educated. Don't go out and open up no account. Don't go around asking what is a hot stock pick. Oh, I heard, this hot stock. Do you even know what a stock is, how the stock market works? Do you know how to open up the appropriate account? Do you know how to place an order? Right? There's different ways you can place orders in the stock market, right? Do you even know how to do that? Do you know how to protect yourself after you buy the stock, right? These are all basic things we got to know. So the number one thing everybody needs to do is get it. Well, first, flip your mind. Name of the company is Flip That Stock. You got to flip your mind. Say, not only am I going to learn this, I can learn it and I will learn it. And then after you flip your mind, then we go into getting educated on it.
We talk
And
about that a lot. It's all about the mindset. Once you get that mindset in place, it's not complicated from there.
yeah, it really, there's an old saying, it's impossible to stop a man or woman who just won't quit,
Yeah.
right? And I think what happens is if it doesn't just come easy to us, then we just quit. Well, a lot of it could just be the person who's teaching you.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're disrupting the way it's being taught, the stock market is being taught, because we have a lot of fun, creative ways. Like I said, the response that we've gotten to a shopping mall is nobody's done this before, literally. And so people are fired up. We have politicians coming to us now, and teachers and professional business organizations are like, man, we heard about this shopping mall. When's it going to be released? We want to get access to it. We want to give it to our members. And so, because we can show anybody. So I'm going to challenge anybody who says, well, if you're shopping on Amazon, you can do this.
And once
Yeah.
you launch it, we'll have you back on, and you can go through it and show people how to navigate through it and all that, and where they can find it. So I think that's going to be very valuable. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And the mall we have three different things I want your listening audience to think about. Three different money making skills. One of them is investing. Investing is buying and holding for the long term, like we talked about in previous episodes. Buying and holding for the long term. That's what the shopping mall is for. You're going to go in, you're going to go shopping, and we're going to teach you all the different ways you can shop for stocks, and it's more along the lines of investing. Then we have Flip That Stock. That's for people who want to learn how to generate income, go in and out, and get in and out of the market, typically in 15 minutes or less. And that's what Aziz is learning to do, and a part of that membership base. And then we have Flip That Option, where we're teaching people through a fun game that we created how to trade options. And that's something totally different too. So you get these three money making skills: investing, flipping stocks, and flipping options. Man, it's a different ball game. And if you start adding real estate in, and you own a business there, you know, it's a different ball
Yeah,
game.
and it's easy for us to not do it, as easy as it is for us to do it. So just what side?
Yeah. Well, the other thing is what options do we have?
Yeah.
Like, if we don't do it, if our best and brightest don't know how to do it, and everybody under them doesn't know how to do it, and we've already looked at the data, right? Even if you don't believe the percentage, well, I don't know if it's 4%, maybe it's 8%. Okay, let's say it's 8% of our, even if you don't believe the exact data, we behind. Nobody's refuting that.
Right, exactly.
And
just from a real estate perspective, most people cannot get into real estate because, again, it's very capital intensive.
mm-hmm.
A lot of more expertise that you have to learn, so on and so forth. But when we're talking about stocks, like JR is saying to you, you don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of expertise, at least the way that you teach it.
Mm-hmm.
All those charts and all that stuff other people are trying to show people and teach them, that's not something you do. You make it simple,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't cost a lot of money.
Yeah, and you bring up, speaking of money, that's the other thing is that we got to look at, and just I had a mentor years ago, millionaire mentor, and he told me something I never forgot. He said, he said, JR, when you're looking at uh, opportunities, right? And I think you'll appreciate this, Aziz, from a real estate point of view. Like you might be driving by a house with a friend, the grass, and they know nothing about real estate. And say the grass is high, the windows are broken, uh, the fence is raggedy, the gutters are falling off. And you may look at that and be like, oh man, that's a beautiful opportunity. I want to get that house. And your friend may be looking like, dude, are you crazy? What are you talking about? Because they can't see past what they're seeing. And so my millionaire mentor told me, he said, never just look at the upfront cost of something. Always look at the backside opportunity. So you see that rundown house and say that rundown house is 200,000. And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. And they're like, are you 200,000 for that? But after you fix it up, it's 350,000, 400, right? So you got to take that same approach when you're looking at education, right? We charge a fee for what we do, right? We're a company. We charge a fee for it, right? We're education technology company. And so when people look at fees of anything, not just our products, anybody's products, you make a judgment as to whether it's worth it or not, right? So, you know, had someone years ago say, uh, hey, I want to learn to flip stocks. I'm excited. Let's do it. I said, okay. And I sent them a link with the package and what the cost was. And they were like, oh, mm-mm, mm-mm. But here's the crazy part, Aziz. A week or so later, they posted on Facebook 2 front row seat tickets to Beyonce's concert for $3,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, so now you got Beyonce. I don't have nothing against Beyonce and Jay-Z, like the music and stuff. Nothing against them, but they're giving you 4 hours of entertainment. We're giving you a lifetime skill set. Now check out what Jay-Z and Beyonce are doing. They're taking all that money and investing in real estate and the stock market and building their portfolio up off of all the people who are giving them money. I'm not hating on them because they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But that
Guess
was
what? They ain't coming back to teach y'all how to do it.
no, no, and like in the concert, she's not going to sing a song and then stop and say, "Hey, let me teach y'all how we taking all this money we got and we're going to invest it in this real estate property or invest in this stock." No, you're there to be entertained, and that's what they do. And they collect the money, and they're good at it. Nothing wrong with it. But when we say we don't have the money for something, usually we do. We're just not thinking in terms of, I want that flat screen TV. I want to go to that concert. I want the new dress. I want the new suit. I want the new shoes. I want the new watch. I want the new car. We're thinking in terms of that versus can this provide me a skill set that I can use for the rest of my life? A case in point, I have a good friend, Willie Jolly. You familiar with Willie Jolly, the motivational speaker and radio and TV personality? Good friend of mine. So Willie, he sent me a picture. He texted me a picture of him holding a picture. All right, so you got to envision this. He texted me a picture with him inside of that picture, holding a picture of him with a Tesla, the car, and he got that Tesla. And he says, JR asked me how I got the Tesla. I said, how you get the Tesla? He said, I took the profits from my stocks and bought it cash.
Mm.
Right? That's the way the wealthy think. They got an asset, and then the asset pays for what they want. Now,
Yep.
most of us, including myself, when I was younger, I go out here, I buy all this stuff. I want the stuff, man. I want the stuff. I'm pulling up, we flossing, we feeling good. You're pulling up in the benzo and all this. All that stuff don't even phase me now.
Nope.
What I like is a fat bank account and a fat portfolio or skill sets that I know how to flip stocks and things like that. So that's kind of like the new sexy. The new sexy is what's your skill set? You know.
And
Uh,
well, a lot of people don't understand that, we all chase that lifestyle, the big cars and the designer clothes, blah blah, and so on and so forth. But that lifestyle, you're gonna be chasing that for the rest of your life.
yeah.
You get this proper mindset, and it's not about the big cars, like you said, nice bank account. Go to work when I want to go to
Yeah.
work. Don't go to work when I don't want to go to work. Go on vacation when I want to go on vacation. But you're not going to get it as long as you don't have that skill set.
Right. Right. And you can get caught up in it, man. I tell you, I probably had every kind of car there is back in the day, right? So ask me what kind of car I have, Aziz. Just say
All
what kind of car you,
right.
man, Aziz. I'm gonna tell you, I got a Bugatti. I do have a Bugatti, but it's disguised as a Chevy Malibu.
There you go.
now, now, my Bugatti that's disguised as a Chevy Malibu, it's been paid off. It looks good to me. It drives great, right? So check this out. One day I'm driving down the street. True story. I love SUVs. Love them. I've had a lot of SUVs, right? So I come up to a stoplight in my Bugatti that's disguised as a Chevy Malibu, right? And this beautiful, oh man, this beautiful midnight black Cadillac Escalade pulls up next to me. I'm like, damn, looking at it. It's looking at me. I'm looking at it and it's looking at me. And I'm like, man, I want one of those. I'm a drive. I'm a drive. I was literally 60 seconds from my home. We're at the stoplight. All I had to do was make a right. And I said, I'm gonna go right now and get me an Escalade. And the light changed. So I had to make a decision, either go straight and start going to a dealership or turn right and go home. And as I started turning right, in a matter of seconds, I was like, what am I doing? Why would I go and get an $80,000 truck, have a note, when I got this beautiful Bugatti described as disguised as a Chevy Malibu that's paid for, doesn't give me any problems, knock on wood, and I just turned and took my behind right home with a smile on my face. And now, years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So it is a function of maturity. Years ago, I would have been like, I'm going to get me that Escalade, da 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 da. And I'm not saying not to get an Escalade or whatever you want, but think about letting your assets pay for that. Rather than you pay for it, get a cash producing asset that can do that like Willie Jolly did. And now that's a different ball game there. But I always tell people, because what kind of car you got? A Bugatti disguised as a Chevy Malibu.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So as usual, we always appreciate you coming on and sharing what you share. And again, there'll be many episodes where we're gonna dive into more and more. And first couple ones, we got into the mindset, we got into the basics of stocks. So I think next time, if you're willing to share with them, a couple tips, maybe
Sure.
mall is open by then, maybe we can walk through that.
Yeah.
Walk through a trade like you do on your presentation, something like
Sure.
that. And
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Matter of fact, in one of these or maybe the next one, I can actually go into and talk about either the mall, if it's ready by then, and it's going to be coming out very shortly, another couple of weeks, or I'll show them, a video of an actual stock flip, and they can, see how that works. Because, it's kind of unbelievable. Like if you didn't see it, I wouldn't even believe it either. So we can get into some of those things too.
yep, and they'll see how simple it is, and then they'll be banging on your door, trying to get
Right.
in. And that's what we want. That's what we're trying to do here. Whether it's
Yeah.
business, real estate, stocks, we're trying to change the mindset of our community. We're trying to build wealth because again, we are the biggest consumer, so we have money. We're just not putting it in the right places.
Right. Right.
So as
So
usual, we appreciate you. We appreciate you giving up your time.
not a
Uh,
problem.
Sharing all the knowledge that you have because there's definitely a large wealth of knowledge that you have that you're sharing with us and the people, and it's for free. So people have no excuses. Obviously, if you really want to get into it, we
Yeah.
all want to make money, and that's what he's in business for, to make money. But it's not
Hmm.
that you can get into this with.
Yeah.
Anything you want to share closing out here?
I would just say, I heard this. This is an original quote, but they say there's three types of people. And the first type is the type of people that make it happen. Second type of people that watch what happen. And then the third type of people, and a lot of times we fall in this category and we like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Right. And it just blew by. And then we complain. Oh, see, it's this, it's that. No, it's us. We got to look in the mirror. So let's get in that first group of the let's make it happen group and go from there.
Let's make it happen. You heard it first here on the House at Ross. Bill J.R. Fenwick, flip that stock. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, guys. And we can work together and we can, build this thing as a community. So as usual, like I said, appreciate you coming on and we'll see you next month.
All right, my brother. Take care. Keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate you, brother. You too. Talk to you
Okay.
soon.
All right. Bye-bye.